Hello BookTube, my name is Rachel and today I'm going to be filming my 2016 summer TBR. First off, it is summer. Thank goodness. Second off, what the heck is going on behind me, you might be asking? I got new shelves. I'm really excited about them. I am really excited about them. I'm really excited about them. I spent like 6 hours reorganizing them. Multiple days like cleaning the space and tracking these babies down, and a video is coming where I kind of organize my shelves. And I've never done anything like that before, so exciting. It's an exciting new challenge, exciting new shelves. But for today's video, I am going to be talking about the 16 books that I want to read in the summer of 2016. You see 16, 16, 16. Oh gosh, oh gosh. This is already off to a very awkward start. Without further ado, let's get started. The first 3 books on this list: Winter, Stars Above, and Fairest, all by Marissa Meyer. Winter is the last book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the first 3. Cinder wasn't my favorite book of all time, but I fell a lot more in love with the characters and the story in Scarlet and Cress. The Lunar Chronicles is a series composed of modern retellings of different fairy tales. So Cinder is a retelling of Cinderella, Scarlet, Little Red Riding Hood, Cress, Rapunzel, and thus far my favorite, Winter, which is a retelling of Snow White. So far, Winter is one of the most interesting characters I've ever read. Her perspective on the world is definitely unique and interesting to read, and I'm just really excited to kind of find out the fate of every character, because I have developed a relationship with and a compassion for almost all of the characters in this series, and I'm really excited to figure out how it ends. 2 books for the hangover that will certainly accompany the end of Winter: Fairest and Stars Above. Both are beautiful, both are going to be good. I'm not sure if I'm going to read these consecutively, directly after I finish Winter. It just kind of depends on how much I'm craving the world that has ended. Continuing along with series that I have started and would like to finish, I have City of Ashes, the second novel in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I was able to read City of Bones for my English class that I took in my spring quarter at college, and it wasn't my favorite thing in the absolute world. It was not my favorite thing, which I don't know if it surprised me. I've heard a lot of hype and a lot of excitement behind the novels and the series, which is why I picked it up in the first place. And I wrote a lot, because I read it for an assignment. So I wrote a lot of papers and I shared a lot of ideas about the first novel, specifically about like gender expectations perpetuated and defied within the novel. And so I spent a lot of time with City of Bones, and because of that, although it isn't the best written thing I've ever read in my entire life, and it isn't the greatest thing I've ever read in my entire life necessarily, I am certainly more engrossed by and more excited by learning about what happens next. I mean, there are definitely cliffhangers and areas for development created within the first novel, of course. I mean, it's a 6-part series, like or it's a 6-book series. Like, she has to leave room for things to grow and develop. And so I'm just really interested, I guess, in learning more about Clary and Jace and Simon and learning how that goes. And so I am pretty sure I'm gonna pick up City of Ashes. Next up, and also inspired by that same English class I was just talking about, The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. The first novel that we read in that English class was I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, which is now one of my favorite books ever. It was absolutely fantastic. I was fascinated and captivated page 1. The writing style is sort of unlike anything I've ever read before in like the most beautiful way. It's not trying too hard to be quirky or unique or interesting or funny. It just is. And it's thoroughly enjoyable, and I really related to Noah. and I really appreciated his perspective and his point of view shared in that novel. So I automatically bought The Sky is Everywhere after I finished that, because Jandy Nelson is now like one of my favorite authors, and I have already started this. I'm on page 32, so I'm not that far in, but I'm already enjoying this one as well, and I'm excited to finish it. I'm excited to experience the world from Jandy Nelson's point of view again. The next two books that I also want to finish this summer, which I don't think technically counting as part of the 16 because I've already started them. A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and Aimless Love, New and Selected Poems by Billy Collins. I am not going to talk about this one very much at all. If you follow my channel, this has been on almost every single TBR I've ever created. And it makes me sad I haven't read it yet. It makes me really upset that I have not read this because I've been wanting to read it for like over a year now. I've really been interested in, intrigued by, and thrilled by, I want to read this book. And I don't want to talk about wanting to read it anymore. I want to do it. And so this summer, like if I read no other books, this is going to be the book that I really want to read. It's getting done. Alicia, I will do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Next up, we have The Last Time We Say Goodbye by Cynthia Hand. I picked this up sometime over winter break. I was just browsing and the story behind this was intriguing. I think Reagan over at Peruse Project hauled this book and talked about this book, and I think that's what turned me onto it and like introduced me to it, and I really like her reviews. I like how well read she is, and I really trust her reviews and what she has to say and her recommendations, and so that's why I picked this book up, and I'm really excited to explore it and kind of get my own understanding of it and my own perspective on it. So, and it's beautiful. It's my favorite type of paperback. It's floppy, so I don't worry about wrecking the spine. It's beautiful, and so I think as like a break between winter, which is like 8 million pages, I can pick up something like this, which seems to read a little bit quicker than some of the other ones on this list. You by Caroline Kepnes is a book that I have seen a lot about on BookTube and a lot about on Goodreads, and not always in the most positive light, but when I ordered this off of Book Outlet or something like that, it was on dramatic clearance. It was just so cheap, and I have not read a lot of thrillers. I really haven't, and I kind of want to. I kind of want to explore that genre a little bit more, because whenever I watch movies that fall into that genre, I'm like really intrigued and really excited and inspired to create movies like that, which is interesting because I'm not necessarily drawn to horror, but thrillers to me are a lot more exciting. I don't know, I want to kind of know what I think about it and kind of be able to make my own commentary on it. I think this is supposed to be very fast-paced, will be good for the summer. Speaking of novels that are good for the summer, Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I actually am kind of cracking up a little bit because this was on my 2015 summer TBR, and I didn't read it for some reason. I did read a lot of contemporaries last summer that kind of fit into the summery mood. I read The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han, which was such a positive reading experience, and I think a decent part of that was because it was during the summer, and I'm hoping that that same experience can happen reading kind of a grassy, ice creamy, laying with a box of pizza next to you. I hope I can gain that sort of summer experience and live it again and, you know, enjoy it again by reading this novel this summer. So that's the plan, Stan. That's the plan. We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I picked this up on my way back up to school with my dad. We stopped in this very cool town, kind of close to Seattle, and I really liked it, and we stopped into this small independent bookstore, and I saw this, and I read, what did I read? Like the first couple of pages. When the first line of a book is "life is bullshit," like. Next up, I have volumes 3 and 4 of Saga. This graphic novel series is one that I specifically picked up because I have heard so much praise about it and for it because of BookTube. Battling space people and, you know, like things like that. That's not generally a genre that I delve into very much, but I thoroughly enjoy reading Saga. It is so funny and interesting and compelling, and like it's composed very well. The artwork is really beautiful, and like the politics within it and discussed within it are interesting, and this gets enough hype as it is. It honestly, this series gets enough hype, and so I don't want to add to it unnecessarily, you know, but give them a try. Pick out the first one from your library if you're not 100% sure about it, and, you know, give it a go. I would honestly recommend, like, checking the first one out from the library, or Amazon sells the first one cheaper than all the rest to get you hooked. Capitalism, thank you so much. Thank you for, you know, trying to marketing strategies, whatever. So, like, you know, the first one is cheaper on Amazon if you want to purchase it and check it out. But I hope to read the third and fourth, and I generally read a lot of graphic novels over the summer. Not to up my reading count or whatever, but to help contribute to the amount of books that I read for my Goodreads goal. And it also just feels really good to read the books you own. And so these are 2 books that I own that I am very excited for and capable of reading this summer. Yeah, that was a lot of commentary and honesty and rambling. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think that's the theme of this video. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to be back. I'm really excited for summer. I'm really excited for reading. I'm really excited about my new shelves. Like, life is pretty golden. Life is pretty golden when you've had a lot of coffee and you just got a new job and you're about to go visit a whole bunch of family. Life is golden. I hope your life is going pretty goldenly as well. I'm not done filming, but I'm filming that part now. And the last section, I didn't realize I was necessarily doing this in sections, but I guess the last section of this TBR for the summer are kind of exploratory / like delving into new genres and new things. And I am excited to start reading some nonfiction books or some adult fiction books. I thoroughly enjoy YA. I generally read a lot of YA. That's just, I've been reading YA since I was like 6. Like, since before I was a young adult, I've been reading young adult novels, and I find tons of value in them. Some of them, most of them. And as a genre, I thoroughly enjoy it. But I am also 19, like, I just finished my first year of college, and so, like, as the targeted audience, I'm starting to grow out of it, and I'm excited to delve into different storylines and different takes on reality and different perspectives, and I think I can do that and explore that and enjoy new things by delving into new genres. And so I will be reading, or trying to read, this is all tentative TBR, these are just things I really think I will end up reading, but as a genre or as an exploration, I really do want to start reading a lot more adult fiction or more nonfiction, and so that's what these last books are. The first that falls under that genre is A Tale for the Time Being. This novel was highly recommended to me by my best friend Helen, who is also quite the reader and reads a lot different genres than I do. She doesn't typically read a lot of YA, she reads a lot of fiction and a lot more like adult novels. And so I really respect her opinion, and she reads diversely and is very intentional about reading diversely and from diverse authors and diverse perspectives. And so I'm really excited to read this. It's about the Pacific Northwest. Like, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, a portion of it is set in the Pacific Northwest. That's where I'm from, so that is dope as heck. And it sounds really interesting. It's beautiful. I've seen this everywhere. This is one of the novels that I have seen literally everywhere and just have always been so tempted to buy. And then Helen and Kevin came up to my school and we sat in a bookstore, and I was writing a couple really intense papers for finals, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy this as incentive to finish those papers, to know that I get to read something interesting and exciting and valuable as soon as I'm done. I am now done. I am now going to hopefully read A Tale for the Time Being. From that same trip to the bookstore where I was buying books for incentive, I also picked up The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. My really good friend Marissa actually reads the New York Times every day, which is so cool. She reads the newspaper every day, and her favorite section is the science section, and specifically they had a list of like 10 science nonfiction novels that are really valuable and exciting to read and up and coming, and this was one that was on it that I have seen before, and it's one that we both actually got copies of that day, and so hopefully we kind of like both read it this summer and are able to talk about it. But the story of Henrietta is, I'll leave a link to a more thorough description in the description box down below. I think it describes and entails the exploitation of Henrietta Lacks and her body by the scientific world because she has unique cells. I'm not a biology human. I am not a science human, I guess, so I don't really understand 100% what's going on, but I know that her cells are unique and interesting, and because of that, her body was kind of stolen and exploited for a very long time, and I think it has to do with the things they learned from her, but also like the journey of her family kind of reclaiming her body, which is, it's going to be a very interesting read, and it's one that I am excited to kind of explore and learn about something new, like explore a new genre and learn about something that is very, very valuable. Next up, we have The Ocean at the End of the Lane, a novel by Neil Gaiman, and this is a kind of short introduction to Neil Gaiman's work for myself. I have never read a novel by him, and he is critically acclaimed, and I believe he is award-winning, and if not, he is highly praised on BookTube, and so I am very interested to read something by him and to sort of understand what the discussion and the hype and the praise is for. The final two novels on my 2016 TBR are two different classics, Lolita, and the second is The Bluest Eyes by Toni Morrison. This, I believe, I ordered online for a pretty cheap rate, and I really like this copy. I really like this edition. And I know that there's a lot of controversy and a lot of discussion surrounding the sexual nature of this novel, and so I'm really excited to read about it and kind of understand the discussion and the conversation behind it. And with The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, so these are the 16 novels that I am planning to / hoping to read over the summer of 2016. It's gonna be a good summer. It's gonna be a good summer. I'll be working and reading and writing. So I'll be busy, but it's still gonna be rejuvenating and exciting. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it relaxing and productive. That's my plan. That's my goal. If you have any suggestions about which ones of these to finish first, if you have a personal favorite that you think that I would also enjoy, please let me know. I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about these books. Finally, if you are interested in, link your summer TBR down below, or just, you know, comment some of the ones that you are reading if any of them are similar. That would be really cool to know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that your summer reading is productive and positive and exciting. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video soon. Very soon. It's summer. It's my season to upload. Goodbye!